Okay, it looks like I am on, and we are on day 1921 days, I believe that. Yeah, 21 days since Richard was forcibly removed from his barracks room there on Fort Bliss, and he was taken to the arms room because it is a soundproof room, and his life was taken from him there. And then his body was stolen off of Fort Bliss and dismembered and exploited. This is more and more information is coming out, more and more cases, thanks to President Trump, and we're putting more of the pieces together. But Richard, absolutely, we believe he was exploited. His body was exploited and trafficked to Mexico, exploited some more, and dumped at Plenitude Crematorium. That's what we believe. And so we are in the very vicious negotiations for the repatriation of his remains to bring him home. And if you don't know what Plenitude Crematorium is, it is a narco body dumping ground that has a facade of a funeral of a funeral home, and with it was so disgusting, y'all. So disgusting. It is so disgusting. And the owner of it is living in El Paso, and he is meeting with Carlos Manuel Salas in El Paso. Carlos Manuel Salas is the prosecutor for the North Zone in Chihuahua, Mexico. He is meeting with the owner of Rafael, his name's Rafael. This crematorium is not supposed to be in El Paso, okay? This is all the North Zone, Chihuahua, Mexico jurisdiction. And so, this stinks to high heaven of cover up, and the media is reporting it like that. So he's also meeting with Raphael's also meeting with the county judge. Fine dining and whining, fine dining. Which clearly means that they're conspiring together. That's what that means. They're conspiring together. And we're talking about human trafficking. We're talking about baby trafficking, illegal C-sections, ripping out babies out of young women, and taking their organs and dumping their body. I mean, this is what has been reported. This is what we're talking about. And yet, we have those same individuals that are covering this up. Okay. And I'm going to get into the election results that are horrifying. The election results today gave these people that are exploiting, are covering up, are you have Jay Jones that won, and he was saying the most vile, vulgar things, threats, and he won. It's just, it just shows you. It shows you that God is right all along. That God is right all along. That mankind without Christ, without God, is pretty bad. is pretty bad, because anyone that is promoting violence like this, and the exploitation of humans like this, the covering up of murders, um, you know, they will they will look the other way, sell their soul for a bowl of lentils, you see. And these evil people know this. They know the nature of man, and I probably should dig out my Bible lessons on the nature of man, um, because I think we need to have some epistemological self consciousness, uh, after these election results. Um, some epistemological self consciousness. What does that mean? To know yourself, right? To know yourself, to know your weaknesses, to know the lack of faith, um, because, it's to be desperate, to be in despair is really to turn your back on God, right? To turn your back on God. And we've been doing this for over 5 years, and these election results really indicate despair and desperation. And if you're going to the store and the prices are high and the rents are high and all of that, it, absolutely, it's a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing, but you have to recognize where that's coming from. Where is that all coming from? It's coming from a country that has lost its ability to make things, right? And if you don't have an economy, if you're not making things, then you depend on other countries to import that, and then they can control the prices. Or if you have monopolies, like we have so many monopolies in this country, they can control the prices. And if there's a threat to those companies, they can raise those prices up just for politics' sake. And you see a lot of sabotaging of the economy. Um, it's very clear to us because they want to keep their spot in the monopoly, and they want to exploit the people um, with expensive um, products that should be very, very cheap, including energy. Energy should be very, very cheap. And so, and what comes with this? Uh, the exploitation gets to be really demonic. It gets to be very, very evil. And you see them defending um, violence, defending human trafficking, defending baby trafficking, defending organ harvesting, defending the worst of the worst kinds of sex cults. Um, they'll be looking the other way or defending it, tolerating it, for really a bowl of lentils, really. And this is human nature. And so it's no surprise. It's absolutely no surprise um, that this happened. And, there's a lot of infiltration. You see the talk about all the infiltration in TPUSA. There's a lot of infiltration in our government, because when you are a very wealthy country, because of our beautiful Constitution, it laid such a thick protection on us. But that has been wearing thin. That has been wearing thin, and that's why the crimes are getting so blatant. And you see the crimes are coming from the authorities, right? They're coming, or their allies to the crime and connecting with the cartel. And yeah, it's very, very clear. And so you see, and what do I mean by that? Let's look at Carlos Manuel Salas. He's supposed to be living in Mexico. He's Mexican. He's Mexican. He's the prosecutor for the North Zone of Chihuahua. He, by law, by Mexican law, he's supposed to be living over there. He thwarts his own laws, and he has a Texas driver's license, and his car is registered in Texas. He has a house in El Paso, Texas. He has this residency in Texas. He's thwarting, reporting his assets, right? I mean, it is, and who would give him that license? The driver's license and register his car. Well, DPS. Well, is DPS compromised? Well, yes. That's Jose Sanchez, the guy that's more interested in filling up this honey trap, a honey trap. Who he knows is a honey trap. He's not like, oh, I'm shocked that this is a honey trap that wants to compromise me. No, he is absolutely willing to be compromised, because where is the accountability, right? Where is the accountability? Where are the where where is Tony Gonzalez, right? He's in trouble. He's compromised. Where is Veronica Escobar? She's compromised. Um, you know, and this, you can just go down the line, and they are paid for by the taxpayers. That's exploitation, because they can't even do their job, and we're supposed to pay their wages. And who signs those checks for the county? A very corrupt Ricardo Samaniago, right? Um, Paying the illegal medical examiner $500,000 a year. Come on, almost $500,000 a year, and they're letting the owner of Plenitude Crematorium, connected right next to, not just live in El Paso, but he has a house. He has lots of houses, lots of businesses. Exploit the people even more, because he has those businesses and he has these houses. One house right beside Beto O'Rourke, and Beto O'Rourke was employing the she devil, the La Diabla's family member in his business. uh, you know, it's very clear human nature. And the bottom of the lesson of all of this, because I wanna make sure that people know, because this sounds so negative, but we're coming from victory. All right, we're coming from victory. We've already won. These blue seats can be filled, but it doesn't matter, because we've already won. But what it shows you totally, is heaven or hell. It shows you the choices between heaven and hell. It shows you the choices between Christ and chaos. It shows you the choices of success or defeat. It shows you the tree of evil, the tree of good. That's what this shows you. Now, God's already won, because this is his story, his creation, his he is in the driver's seat, and God is good. God is not evil. God is good. God is love. And we that have faith like this, um, but, absolutely come from victory. So you can see this madness, this chaos, the fruits of the tree of evil. You can see it um, because that's what we wanted to see, isn't it? In the Garden of Eden, in the Garden of Eden, we wanted to have that fruit from uh, the tree that would show us the difference between good and evil. We want to see it. We want to live it. We want to experience it. And that's our will. Our will has been tainted because we want it. And that's why these absolute vile people won. Because people want to see it. They want to see what they're going to do. They want to see them take from the people even more, destroy even more. That's our human nature. And that's why Martin Luther wrote, well, it's not, it's a debate between him and Erasmus, and it's called The Bondage of the Will. The Bondage of the Will. And when you read that book, you'll never be the same because you'll know that it's either Christ or chaos. It's either God's will be done or chaos. And the one thing that we can't be curious about is what evil looks like. And, you have a lot of these movies, a lot of this music, and people want to see it. They want to hear it. They want to experience it. And that's our fault. That's our fault. And the faith is to say, "Get behind me, Satan. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to experience it. I want goodness. I want beauty." And this is where, how you can test people. What do they want to see? What do they want to hear? Where do they want to put their treasures? Where do they want to put their time? Where do they want to put, what do they want to do? Do they want to make the world a better place, um, or do they want to sabotage just to see it, just to experience it, just to hear it? And I think that's what this vote was all about. It was really a rejection of what is good, what is right, what is beautiful, what is true, what is noble, what is profitable. And, you know, because they know it, they're not stupid. They know it. They know what evil is. And, and they're losers. They've really lost. They've really, really lost. And to really focus on what's good, um, that's been a huge lesson for us in these 5 years because there's been so much criminal activity that we've had to report on. But can you imagine if I resorted to everything evil, everything cursed, everything cursed, everything plagued, everything, you could never move forward. You could never move forward. And so we try to, as much as we can, because this case is, it is really vile. It is really vulgar. It is really evil. And I didn't ask to see it. I didn't ask to hear it. I didn't ask to know about it. It came upon us because of the domino effect of that day in Eden when when Adam when Adam and Eve decided that they wanted to know evil. It's a domino effect. And sometimes evil things happen to you. We know that with Job. Really evil things happen to you. Um, and you didn't deserve it. You didn't choose it. You know, uh, and and what's the lesson from that? That you come from a position of victory. Even though Job went through hell and back, he was always victorious. And in the end, he was totally victorious. And so, all of this evil surrounding Richard's case and what's going on, there are those, there is, well, the at the end of it all is going to be total victory. So at the end of it all, and so that keeps us going, and we're heartbroken that the domino effects are probably going to come in, the waves of these very bad choices. Um, but of course, our whole election and who controls the election and all of that, none of that can be trusted anymore. So you know, we'll see. We'll see how these waves come in, and we'll see how the courts, um, how these judges rule, um, whose heart will be changed, because some of these hearts are going to be changed. People. It's going to be very interesting, how God works this all out, because remember Paul, he was the worst of the worst, and God put scales on his eyes, and when they came off, he was just the best of the best, wasn't he? So it's going to be very, very interesting how God works this all out. And this is a spiritual warfare. It is all about faith. And that means, to work is to pray, and to pray is to work. You have to work so hard during these times. There's just no rest, right? There's no rest. You have to work very, very hard. Um, and that's just the just the nature of it all. When we have very bad decisions by people, we have to really, really work hard. There's no partying time to party, right? So so that's really my take on the election. It's no surprise. It's bad. It's not good. It's bad. It's very bad. Really awful people are now going to be in positions of authority, um, that have no faith, that have no loyalty to the Constitution, no loyalty to God, no loyalty to anything good, that they will sway one way or the other very easily, whichever way would profit them. And work for those like Woody Hunt. Woody Hunt controls politicians and cities and things like that, and he's up to no good. He's up to no good. So maybe God can, will. Who knows? Who knows how God's going to change this up? Um, I don't know. And so what I do know is I need to do my part in faith. I don't need to know everything. I just need know that we need to um, fight for justice wherever we're at for as as long as it takes, for as long as it takes. Fight for justice. And I can tell you absolutely, we have moved mountains in all of this. Move mountains. God has moved mountains um, because of our faith, our hard work. He has moved mountains in this, and now we have so many answers that 5 years they just wanted to keep from us. So even the people that get in authority that mean us harm were thwarted. Were thwarted. All their sabotaging came to naught. And I think that's an important message. And now we have Carlos Manuel Salas totally caught. Now, what are they going to do about it? What is DPS going to do about it? I mean, DPS needs to be totally defunded. At this point, they need to be totally defunded. And they know it. They know that they have lost the respect of the people. And, do they want to be defunded? No. I mean, Patrick Brookshire, $100,000 a year. Well, not quite $100,000 a year, 90 something thousand dollars a year he's getting. And disability, veterans disability benefits because he's so disabled, right? He's so disabled. I know, that James Hart and the IDS Pablo could tell us all about it if that was legal, if that was legal. Um, and so it's all they've lost respect. They've lost well, they've exploited too much. And, uh, so what's going to happen from it? Should it be shut down? I think it should be shut down because DPS is the one that gave Manuel Salas his Carlos Manuel Salas his driver's license and his Texas driver's license, right? His Texas car registration that allowed him to get his home there, his home in El Paso, which is so illegal. They want to exploit and destroy and sabotage the United States, but they want to come and live here because of that amazing foundation of the Constitution. Because in Mexico, you have, what is it, like 10 in a day or being executed? I think it was, the numbers are so overwhelming, people actually being executed. I'm not talking about car accidents and things like that. I'm talking about pure violence. And that's what they're bringing to us. And that's what we're voting for. We're voting for pure violence. That's what I mean, it is, God is no buttercup. And we want to see evil. He's showing us evil. He's showing us evil because we want it. And Manuel, well, Carlos Manuel Salas, um, he's supposed to be prosecuting the Plenitude Crematorium. But the key witness just died under his care, under his custody. That sounds like a cover up. That sounds like a cover up big time. So, You know, we'll see. Uh, I wish I had more answers for you. But I posted up quite a lot of information about what we believe because of all the connections with the mortuary operations. Solomon Nusa being the brother of CID agent Tavita Nusa, who had his badge removed in 2021, being family to Leilani Hart. Um, being in an intimate relationship with Leilani Hart. Leilani Hart is a convicted criminal that needs to be arrested. She needs to be arrested. There needs to be total demand for that. Will there be total demand? And see, this is where, we're patient. We're patient because um, there needs to be total demand for her arrest because she confessed to the worst type of crimes against children. Do we want the worst type of crimes against children? It seems that some people do. They want it. And this is why we cannot sit on our laurels. We have to absolutely fight, fight, fight for these children because she confessed to the worst type of crimes against children, facilitating the worst type of crimes against children, and not even reporting it, admitting that she didn't report it for decades, for decades. And of course, they're they are the prime suspects in the murder of our son. And her son, Dallas Hart, um, who has no loyalty, well, maybe, I don't know, uh, to the evil, is a prime suspect, is the prime suspect of the prime suspects, and taking our son's life. So it's hey, hold on tight, hold on tight. We're in for a ride, and work from a place of victory. Learn how to do that um, for mental well-being too, because this gets to be you know uh, if you see all the evil around you and you're only focusing on that and not what's good and noble and true and everything, it can mess you up. It can mess you up. So I wish I had better news for you. I think I mean, that's the greatest news ever, right? The greatest news ever is that God is good, that God is good all the time, and that we come from a place of victory. And that what the cartels and what this Mormon faction has done, and for El Paso, the leading Mormon faction operator is Woody Hunt, and of course the rest are coming out of Colonial Juarez. That's like the Romney family, the Wittens, Connell Witten. Um, you know, it's really good to have all this exposed. And, that's a really good point, too, is the exposure of all of this. I think it's all being exposed so that people will see and that all knees shall bow. I mean, um, I wish I had all the answers how it was going to come out, but I have the answer for the end game, and that is we won. We won. That's the outcome. And that is really good news. Really, really good news. So please share all the information, especially about Carlos Manuel Salas meeting with the owner of Plenitude Crematorium, Rafael Arliano Caron. That is just so unacceptable, so bad. And when he is supposed to be prosecuting Rafael Arellano Quran. And do we want Raphael to get away with this? To get away with this um, uh, dumping ground for the organ harvesting, baby harvesting, cartel activity victims, and the fraud of so many families? Do we want do we want accountability, or do we want him to get away with this? I mean, that's really what's going on here. Justice or crime or crime. Justice or crime. Peace or chaos. Uh, it's just always a choice. And so please share if you want accountability. Please share, share, share to drive whoever won the election to do the right thing. Because they work for us. They work for us. And so if we want accountability, we need to share, 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 report the crimes, and share some more. Thank you so much. God bless you. And I will be back tomorrow, God willing. Bye bye.